to my channel and press bell icon for latest updates.
Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Vikram. In this class we will try to understand some of the applications of the stack, one of the applications of the stack. So that is infix to postfix conversion. We are going to convert an infix expression into a postfix expression. This is one of the application of the stack, and we are going to see one more application, which is postfix expression evaluation. So evaluating a postfix expression, that also we will try to understand. That we are going to do in another video. In this video we will try to understand how an infix expression is converted into an postfix expression. Okay, so what is meant by infix expression and what is meant by postfix expressions? So have you ever heard of these infix expressions and postfix expressions? Okay, so now we will try to understand the different kinds of expressions that are available. They are infix expression, postfix expression and prefix expressions. So for example, if you take a plus b, this is an infix expression. This is an infix expression. If ab plus is taken postfix after the operands. So this is an operand, this is an operand and this is an operator. After the operands, if the operator is there, then it is called as postfix expression. If in between the operands the operator is there, in between the operands the operator is there, then it is called as infix expression. Similarly, prefix expression, if the operator is preoccupied before, if the operator is before the operands, then it is called as prefix expression. So it is a postfix expression. And similarly, if you take the prefix expression of this a plus b is ab, so this is a prefix expression. So these are all the expressions that are available. In this we are trying to convert the infix expression. So these are the expressions that a human being will naturally know. So if we are given to write an expression, we are going to write that expression in this form. We never use this kind of expressions. So these kind of expressions are used by the computer. Okay, so we are going to use these infix expressions, and the computer is going to convert. The compiler is going to convert all the infix expressions in the programs into a postfix expression. Why? Because for the computer to evaluate the expressions, it becomes easy for the computer if the expressions are in the postfix form. So that is the reason why infix expressions that are available in the program will get converted into a postfix expression before it is getting evaluated. Before the expressions that are available in the program getting evaluated, they will get converted from an infix expression to a postfix expression. So that we will try to understand. This is one of the stack's application. So in order to convert an infix expression to the postfix expression, it uses stack. In order to convert an infix expression to the postfix expression, it uses stack. That is the reason why stack. That is the reason why it is the conversion of an infix expression to the postfix expression is an application of stack. This is used in our compilers. So where these conversions are done is, it is done in our compilers before evaluating the expressions that are there in the program. The compiler will convert all those infix expressions into postfix expressions. So how the conversion is done? How the conversion is done is, for example, there are some certain rules are there that needs to be followed. The rules and the algorithm is given here. Now we will try to understand it mathematically, or we will try to understand it we will try to convert it before, and then we will try to understand it using the algorithm. So for example, if we have an expression a plus b into c, how this expression will get evaluated is, first bc will get evaluated and b into c will get evaluated, and the result of this will get added to a. So how the infix expression can be evaluated to the postfix expression is, it is totally based upon the precedence and associativity. So if you don't know about the precedence and associativity of the operators that are available in any programming language, please watch our C programming language videos on precedence and associativity. So this expression will get evaluated first. So this expression has to be converted into the postfix expression, and the output of this is evaluated with this. So how it can be done is a plus bc into, so this converting an infix into the postfix expression is just bringing the operator between into the postfix form. Okay, so now this is going to be an operand, and this is going to be another operand. Now applying the postfix expression, converting it into postfix expression is going to be abc star plus. Okay, in this way an infix expression is converted into a postfix expression. Now we will try to understand, we will try to solve many examples on this, and we will try to know how that will get converted manually, and later using the stack we will try to understand how the computer will compute, how the computer will convert an infix expression into a postfix expression. So for example, if we have a plus b minus c, so these two are having same precedence. So if the operators in the expressions are having the same precedence, how the expression will get evaluated? So the expression will get evaluated based upon the associativity. For these two operators, the associativity is from left to right. So this one will get evaluated first, and the result is getting evaluated with this operator. So it is going to be ab plus minus c. So this is going to be the operand, and this one is going to be the operand. The postfix expression is, just move it there. So it is going to be ab plus c minus is going to be the postfix expression for a plus b minus c. So for example, if the expressions are having parentheses, how they will get converted, that we will try to understand. So for example, if we have a plus b minus c, so as we have seen in our example, this one is getting executed first, but because the parenthesis is given the highest precedence, so which one will get executed? The expression in the parenthesis will get executed. So the expression in this parenthesis will get executed first, in the sense it will get converted into the postfix, and the remaining part will be done later. So how it will get converted is bc minus, we are not going to use parenthesis in our expressions, postfix expressions, just remove the parenthesis and write the expression. So on this the postfix evaluation is done. So the postfix evaluation on this is going to be this one. Are you able to get it? So infix expression is getting converted into a postfix expression. Now we will try to solve the same using stack. How the computer will work, that we will try to understand. So we will try to understand with some of the examples using the stack how it will get converted, that we will try to understand. So the rules are, first we will try to evaluate the expressions without the parentheses. Later we will try to understand if the expression is having parentheses, how that will get converted, that we will try to understand that. Now we will try to understand this expression using the stack, how the computer will work. Is going to convert. So this is our stack. So what are the rules are, we are going to scan each and every element of the expression. Each and every element of the expression means this is an element. Next, this is an element. Usually they are called as tokens. Now we will consider that it is an element. So each and every element is scanned. We are going to take an element of the expression, and based upon what kind of element it is, we are going to decide what to do. So if the element is going to be an operand, the element that we have taken, we are going to scan this entire expression. Scan means we are going to take one after the another, and we are going to evaluate this expression. We are going to convert this expression. How that conversion is done is, if the element that we have taken, if it is an operand, just print it. If it is an operand, just print it. If it is an operator, push it onto the stack. Push it onto the stack. How to push it? So are there any rules to be followed? Yes, there are some rules to be followed. If there are no elements in the stack, just push it. If there are elements in the stack, how to do it? That we will try to understand. If there are no elements in the stack, just push it. Okay, so next scan, it is going to be B. This is an operand, just print it. Next scan, we are going to scan this one. So this is an operator. So if we find an operator, we have to push it. Okay, we have to push it. So pushing it onto the stack, we have to check with the top of the element. In order to push this onto the stack, we have to check with the top of the element. So if the precedence of the top of the element, if the element that we are trying to push onto the top, that operator should have the greater precedence. So the operator that we are trying to push should have the highest precedence when compared with the precedence of the operator on the top of the stack. So here the top of the stack is going to be plus, and the element that we are trying to push onto the stack is minus. Because the precedence of plus and minus is same, we should not push. So what we have to do? So what we have to do is, we have to pop all the elements from the stack until we find an element whose precedence is lesser than the element that we are trying to push. Are you able to get it? So if you are trying to push the element onto the stack, it can be pushed only if the element on the top of the stack is having lesser precedence when compared with the element that we are trying to push. If it is having the lesser precedence, just push it. If it is not having the lesser precedence, what we have to do is, we have to pop the stack until we find an element whose precedence is less than the element that we try to insert. Okay, so this is the rule that we have to follow. So because the precedence of these two elements are equal to, just pop the stack. So just pop the stack and print it. Okay, we have popped it and there are no elements in the stack, so just push the element onto the stack. Okay, so now the next scan is done on C. It is an operand, just print it. If next, go to the next scan. Are there any elements in the expression? There are no elements in the expression. If there are no elements in the expression, just pop all the elements in the stack until the stack is empty. So just pop all the elements onto the stack. So we are going to pop the elements from the stack until the stack is empty. So the postfix expression of an infix expression like this is going to be AB plus C minus. Okay, so this is the way in which a infix expression is getting converted into a postfix expression using stack. Okay, so now we are going to take another expression and we will try to understand how it will work. A plus B into C. So as we have seen in our previous practice, first B and C will get evaluated. So BC star is going to be the postfix expression for this sub expression, and later on these two the postfix is done. So the final postfix expression is going to be ABC star C. So we are going to check whether the same is going to be obtained using the stack. So that we will try to understand. So here the expression is A plus B star C. So the first scan is going to be an operand. If an operand is found, just print it. If the operator, the next element is going to be an operator, if there are no elements on the stack, just push it. Okay, so the next scan is an operand, just print the output. The next scan is going to be an operator. So in case of an operator, we should be very careful while pushing. So how to push that element onto the stack is, so if the element that we try to push onto the stack has to be verified with the element that is there on the top of the stack. If the element that is there on the top of the stack is having lower precedence than the element that we are trying to push, just push it. If it is having highest precedence, if the element on the top of the stack is having highest precedence, pop the elements from the stack until we get an element whose precedence is less than the element that we are trying to push. Because the precedence of multiplication symbol is more than the precedence of the element on the top of the stack, it is eligible. We can push that onto the top of the stack. Next, it is going to scan C. Say C is going to be an operand. So just print the output. And next, there are no elements in the expression. So what we have to do is just pop all the elements from the stack. If there are no elements to be scanned, if the expression was done with all the scans, so just pop all the elements from the stack. So the final postfix expression is going to be ABC into plus. Are you able to get it? Okay, so this is the way in which an infix expression will get converted into an postfix expression. Now we will try to understand the expressions using parenthesis. Conversion of these expressions using parenthesis. If the expressions are having parenthesis, how those expressions will get converted. So now we will try to understand how the expressions with parenthesis will get evaluated will get converted into a postfix expression. That we will try to understand. Here we are having the same rules will apply. The difference is in the case when we find the parenthesis. So what that case is, first we are going to scan. When operand is found, just print the output. If the scan is an operator, just push it onto the what we call it as stack. Next is if the scan is a left parenthesis. If the scan is a left parenthesis, just push it onto the stack. So here the rules that we are going to apply is, so if an operator has to compare with a left parenthesis, if the operator has to be compared with a left parenthesis, the precedence of this operator is always, the precedence of this left parenthesis is always greater. So the precedence of this operator, whatever the operator is, that operator precedence is always less than the precedence of the what we call it as left parenthesis. So the rule is the element that needs to be pushed onto the stack should have the highest precedence, because the left parenthesis is considered to have the highest precedence. So just push it. Okay. So we are going to push the left parenthesis. So the next scan is going to be B. If it is an operand, just print it. So the next scan is minus symbol. So here whenever the left parenthesis is compared with an operator, so the precedence of the left parenthesis is going to be always lesser. So what is the rule that needs to be followed is, if an operator's precedence is compared with the precedence of the left parenthesis in the case of pushing, this operator is going to have the lesser precedence. If an operator precedence is compared with the left parenthesis precedence, means if the left parenthesis is on the top of the stack, now the precedence of the left parenthesis is always going to be lesser when compared with the operator that we are trying to push. That is the rule that needs to be followed. This is the default rule. So the precedence of left parenthesis, on the top of the stack we have left parenthesis. If the left parenthesis, top of the stack is left parenthesis and it needs to be compared with the element to be pushed, the left parenthesis is always going to have a lower precedence. So just the rule says that if it is having the lower precedence, just push it. So the minus will get pushed. The next scan is going to be C. The next scan is going to be right parenthesis. In case of right parenthesis, what we have to do is, it should not be pushed. The right parenthesis should never be pushed. If the element that we are trying to scan is a right parenthesis, we are going to pop all the elements in the stack until we find the corresponding left parenthesis. So here the scan is done on the right parenthesis. So what we are going to do is, we are going to pop the elements. So the minus will get popped off. So the next element is going to be a left parenthesis. Whenever a corresponding left parenthesis is identified, it is popped, but it is not shown in the output, because the parentheses are never shown in the output. It is popped but it is not shown in the output. It is not going to be printed in the output. Next scan is, there are no elements in the expression. So pop all the elements from the stack. So the expression is going to be A, B, C minus plus. So if we solve it normally by using our intuition, so how it is going to be is, this is going to be our precedence. This is going to have the highest precedence. So this one will get evaluated first. It is going to be BC minus, and we are going to consider this as an operand and this one as an operand. On these two operands, if you apply postfix expression, postfix conversion, it is going to be A, B, C minus plus. So this and this are going to be same. In the same way, if you try to evaluate this expression, if you try to convert this expression into a postfix expression, how that will get converted is, the highest precedence is given to the parenthesis. So the part in the parenthesis is given the highest precedence. So this one will get converted first, CD minus. So now on this and this, because the multiplication symbol is having the next precedence, so on these two, the what we call it as the postfix conversion is applied. So applying the postfix conversion on both of them, it is going to be BCD minus star, and the remaining part is A. So this entire part is going to be one operand and this part is going to be the other operand. Applying the postfix conversion on these two, what is the final outcome is going to be A, B, C, D minus star plus. So we will check whether this expression is getting evaluated into this expression by using the stack or not. Okay, so now we will try to evaluate this expression. What is our first scan? First scan is an operand. If it is an operand, just print it. The next scan is an plus operator. Because there are no elements in the stack, just push it. So the next scan is operand, print it. The next scan is an operator. So while pushing an operator onto the stack, if it is an operator, we have to push it onto the stack. While pushing an operator onto the stack, the only rule that we have to check is the element on the top of the stack's precedence should be less than the element that we are trying to push. Because the precedence of multiplication is greater than the plus, we can directly push it. Next precedence, next scan is left parenthesis. If left parenthesis, this rule will get applied. Any operator is going to have less precedence when compared with the left parenthesis. In that case, it will get inserted into the, it will get pushed into the stack. This is a parenthesis, not C. So this will get pushed. Next scan is going to be minus symbol. In that case we have to push it onto the scan, onto the stack, because so this is, so sorry, after the left parenthesis the scan is done at C, and the next scan is for minus symbol. This rule will get applied. If the top of the stack is going to be a parenthesis, any operator is going to have the highest precedence, and the left parenthesis is going to have the lesser precedence when compared with all the operators. So in that case, it will get pushed onto the stack. The next scan is operand, just print it. Next scan is right parenthesis. In the case of right parenthesis, what we have to do, we should not push it onto the scan, onto the stack. We have to pop all the elements from the stack until we get the corresponding left parenthesis. So for that reason, this one will get popped, and this left parenthesis will also get popped, but it will not get printed. That is important to understand. Never ever print the parenthesis. Next scan is, there are no elements in the stack, there are no elements in the expression, so pop all the elements from the stack. This is going to be the final expression, which is same as that of this expression. These two expressions are same. Okay, so in that way you try to evaluate this function on your own. And try to get the justifications. Now we will try to understand the algorithm. So coming to the algorithm, here we have the first step is create an operator stack. An operator stack will get created for each character C in the expression. So for each character C in the expression, so means just scan the elements. If the C is an operand, output will get output C. Just output the C. Else if the C is a right parenthesis. Else if the C is a right parenthesis, pop all the elements of the stack until left parenthesis is found. If the element that we are, if the element is a right parenthesis, we have to pop all the elements on the stack until we find the left parenthesis, and that left parenthesis should not be printed. That left parenthesis should not be shown on the output. If these two are not the cases, if the element is not an operand and the element is not a right parenthesis, which means that the element is going to be a operator or a left parenthesis. So in that case, what we have to do is, if C's precedence is greater than the element of the C's precedence is greater than the precedence of the stack top element, just push it onto the stack. Else pop all the elements until the element with lower precedence than C is found. So what we have to do is, we have to pop all the elements with the precedence lower than that will get identified. So just push it onto the, we are going to pop all the elements from the stack. So if in that way we are going to run all this for loop for n number of operands, n number of operands or operators that are available in the expression. The last step is, if no elements or if there are no elements to scan, just pop all the elements from the stack and output. Okay, so this is the algorithm for the conversion of an infix expression to the postfix expression. So this is all about the application, one of the application of the stack, which is conversion of an infix expression to the postfix expression. Hope you understood how an infix expression is getting converted into a postfix expression. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. Thanks for watching.